Please join me now in welcoming our next speaker, Mr. Ken Johnson, Director, Product Management, Middleware, Red Hat Inc.
Test, test. Am I on? Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm the last presentation before coffee break, so hopefully you can stay with me for 30 minutes. My presentation is entitled Engaging Customers Through Enlightened Innovation. This is a conversation about middleware, JBoss Middleware. I'm going to try and tell the middleware story through a scenario about customer retention, maybe focusing a bit on the retail space, but it's applicable to other spaces. And we'll get into the details of middleware a little bit later, but I'm going to keep it fairly high level. So as we engage with our customers across the world, there are various truisms we're seeing. All of our customers are trying to do a better job of delivering value to their customers, whether their customers are end users, whether their customers are line of business owners, because these customers are becoming more demanding. We've talked about this elsewhere. I think the consumerization of technology has led to people expecting a level of service that is much higher than it was, say, even 5 years ago. So these customers are demanding a very satisfying experience at the right place and the right time. So think, for example, you might book a hotel room when you're in your office on your laptop. Perhaps later when you get home, you change your hotel reservation using your tablet. And then when you're actually traveling, you make a travel change and you use your mobile phone to cancel your hotel reservation. You want a seamless experience across all of these platforms. You want the responsiveness to be immediate and satisfying regardless of the device or format you're interacting with. To deliver this, IT needs to change their thinking. They need to change their thinking in terms of delighting customers, right? Your customers, your line of business, it's about delighting the customer. DevOps, Chris's talk earlier, is about that as well. It's about delivering value to the line of business, the customer, quickly and efficiently, and keeping them happy. The question is, what are the key ingredients to delighting your customers? So the demands on IT today can be broken down, I think, into 3 categories. First is, IT needs to be more immediate. People want responses now. They want answers now. If you're having a conversation with friends and you wonder about who starred in a movie 2 years ago, you quickly look it up and find the answer. When you want to buy something, you quickly go online and you make a purchase. You can immediately take action when you want to, when you need to. IT needs to be there delivering solutions that allow you to behave and get immediate responses. IT needs to be more pervasive. Okay, that means the technology and interactions are available across devices, no matter where you are. You can have a consistent experience. And lastly, and potentially most importantly, is IT needs to be more aware. Aware of where you are, for example, what country you're in, what street you're walking on. It also needs to be aware of you as a customer, you as a partner, based on history, based on data it has about you. If you're in the customer service business, you have a lot of data about your customers. Is it being leveraged to produce the most engaging experience? Are you aware of your customer and all their background? These are the things you need to think of. So transforming IT to address these needs is an imperative. Maintaining the status quo of maybe 2 years ago is not. Things are changing very quickly. IT needs to transform. That is the thrust of this conference and the thrust of my presentation here. Red Hat Middleware, JBoss, sometimes is the term painted across the top of all our middleware, is used right now by our customers to provide some of these very solutions. These are demanding requirements, and we have technologies right now that allow customers to embark on this journey to provide more immediate, more pervasive, and more aware solutions to their customers. And we're going to talk about this in the context of a customer service example. It's focused on a little bit on retail, but you can apply it to any kind of customer service example. So in the retail space, it's very competitive, right? You have customers. If you're a retailer, you have customers. You're offering products. Customers are not particularly loyal. They care about price. They care about the service they get from you. There are many competitors which they can go do business with if you don't satisfy them, if you don't delight them, right? There's very little stickiness in the retail space. So retailers fight to retain customers and deliver that experience. Customer loyalty is hard to come by. So the innovative retailer will take steps to boost that loyalty whenever possible and put a gap between himself or herself and the other retailers. So basically, you want to know your customers better than your competitors know them. So how do you understand your customer? Or really, what are the challenges in understanding your customer? Well, your business is interacting with your customers through many different channels, right? You may have applications in the store, you may have mobile applications, online applications, you have a CRM system, you have various databases, you have all kinds of information about your customer, but it's spread out, it's scattered across these different systems and systems of engagement. Customers have needs, wants, desires, history that they've expressed to you through their buying patterns of the past. All this information is there, but how are you making use of it, right? You want to be able to fully engage with the customer. Use that information wherever the customer is in their interaction with you, whether they're on the road, driving, perhaps to one of your retail outlets, whether they're on the street or walking or riding their bicycle, or they're actually in the store. You have an opportunity to address their desires, right? So when they're on the road driving, they may be curious, what is the closest location that they can go to, right? What is the quickest route to get there, or the route with the lightest traffic, right? When they're on the street, they may want to know what the weather forecast is. They want to hear some suggestions for things to purchase in the store. They may want to know about sales specials you're running right now. Perhaps you want to do a promotion with a business partner and offer them lunch at a nearby cafe to your retail outlet because you know they're there. And this, of course, requires that the customer opt in and agree to share their location information with you. And many customers will do that for a good experience. When they're in the store, they want personalized service. That's not just the fact that you're in the store, but they know something about what you've bought in the past. Can they make some product recommendations based on things you browsed on their website? Hey, we knew you were looking at this. Would you like to see something in the store? Perhaps you could even direct them to a part of the store where they have shorter lines. They don't have to wait as long. And you want to give them incentives to return to the store to build that customer loyalty. So one of the first things you have to think about when addressing this challenge is understanding and dealing with data. Data at rest and data incoming. And the thing you have to do is eliminate what we call the integration spaghetti, or maybe here, the integration ramen, right? The noodles of point-to-point integration that are in your enterprise and connecting your systems in an often brittle fashion. And you want to take that and simplify that environment so you can make better leverage your applications and your data. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. Here, JBoss Middleware has a number of capabilities which we'll go through in turn. And we'd like to break these capabilities into 3 pillars of functionality. We call it accelerate, integrate, and automate to enable your enterprise to better understand your customer. So accelerate first. We'll take these in turn. So accelerate is really about 3 aspects. So you want to accelerate your development. So that is accelerate the productivity of your developers. By having a high productive development environment and deployment platform, your developers can develop more applications. IDC did a study last year that said using JBoss Enterprise Application Platform, our customers were able to build 51% more applications per year due to the productivity gains of the environment. You want to deploy with ease. And you also want to be able to scale elastically. So as your applications grow, your user base expands, you want to avoid data bottlenecks by scaling. So you develop on EAP, JBoss EAP, Enterprise Application Platform, perhaps in concert with OpenShift Enterprise. You deploy to EAP, again, perhaps with OpenShift Enterprise. EAP is a very friendly deployment environment. It's easy, drag and drop deploy, command line scriptable deployment, integrated with our developer studio tooling, very simple to deploy. Combined with OpenShift Enterprise, a very powerful deployment environment. Scale elastically with DataGrid. JBoss DataGrid is our in-memory cache, distributed in-memory cache. So you can keep high read load data. Perhaps you're serving a catalog. All of your read data can be served out of cache. So you keep your load off your transactional systems and save that for when somebody actually wants to transact business with you, perhaps making a purchase. Okay? So that's accelerate. Accelerate your productivity, accelerate your deployment, accelerate the performance of your applications. It's the foundational consideration. Next, we move up the stack into integrate. So accelerate, integrate, automate. Integrate breaks down into a couple of tiers. We like to think of starting with integrate in terms of dealing with the data. We talked about all these sources of data you have in your enterprise, all these different systems containing data. It could be maybe you're exploring the big data space with a technology like Hadoop. Maybe you're using a modern NoSQL database. Certainly you have SQL databases and data warehouses. Right? You have files and other services you're calling, different SaaS applications, Salesforce.com. You have data about your customers everywhere. First thing you want to do is consider building a data services layer. Connect to all these different systems, compose unified views of your information virtually. Rather than copying data around to build concrete data marts, create a virtual database that accesses that data in place, and then allow your systems and applications to connect to that database virtually, to that virtual database, whether that's business intelligence apps, higher level services, other business applications. So now look at the bottom here. We have our data virtualization on the bottom here. Connect, compose, consume. Next, we move up the integration stack. We start thinking about application integration. So you've done your data integration. Now you want to integrate your applications and your data together. And we'll use that using our Fuse technology suite. JBoss Fuse is our enterprise service bus. It's a very lightweight environment featuring Apache Camel, for those of you familiar with the Apache integration tools. Apache Camel and Apache ActiveMQ. These are productized in our Fuse offering, allowing you to connect your applications and data sources together. On top of that, you can build business services. And these are higher level constructs that allow you to expose business functionality, again, to your consuming applications or higher levels of your architecture stack. And you can use a technology like Fuse ServiceWorks. We split our integration portfolio into two tiers, ESB and essentially our SOA suite. Moving up beyond that, we start talking about automate. So accelerate, integrate, and automate. And automate is about automating your business decisions, automating your business processes, right? Bringing the intelligence to the integrations and foundational applications you've developed. So think about the customer coming into the store. So we have an event. The event is customer arrives at the store. Well, that can kick off and orchestrate a set of processes. Well, they're in the store, so I want to create an offer. I want to create a special offer, deliver it to their mobile device in the store. Well, what do I need? Well, I might need to call a data service to look up their order history, or perhaps their web browsing history. What have you looked at on the website before you came into the store? I might want to give you a special offer based on that. I also might want to know how much have you spent with us in the last 6 months. Are you a high-value customer? You are. I'll calculate you a discount. Then I'll send that to your mobile phone. So in the store, you get a coupon that says, I can have a special on this if I act while I'm in the store today. So you need to connect applications, you need to connect your data, and deliver this to your customer all through an orchestrated flow. JBoss BPM Suite can help you do this. BPM Suite is a combination of our BRMS, our Business Rules Management System, for automated decision making, and our BPM technology for automated process orchestration. And sometimes people think of BPM as BPM in the big, heavyweight, business analyst, process orchestration. It can certainly do that. You can also use it as a simple way to orchestrate a sequence of steps to provide a simple outcome. Right? Straight through processing, it's called. So accelerate, integrate, and automate. Now, as you move this to the cloud, and we'll talk more about this later, many applications are being deployed to the cloud. Innovative retailers are leveraging the cloud. JBoss Middleware is increasingly being delivered through OpenShift. I think with the next presentation, we're going to hear lots more about OpenShift. what we're doing is bringing JBoss Middleware plus OpenShift to allow you to develop these kinds of applications and services and deploy them across private cloud infrastructure, public cloud infrastructure, to give you the level of flexibility you need to deliver the solutions to your customers that they demand. Okay, so what does the innovative retailer look like? So we talked about this, on the road, on the street, and in the store. The innovative retailer links applications, links devices, links data to deliver engaging customer experiences and high customer retention and loyalty. And that's what JBoss Middleware allows you to do. We have a term we call Enlightened Innovation. And this is a bit of a play on words. It's enlightened in the sense that we think we have a smarter way of doing things. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But enlightened also has light in it. And light is lightweight. One key aspect of all the middleware technologies in our portfolio is they're very lightweight. Almost every one of them is in fact embeddable. Our rules engine is embeddable in your application. Our BPM engine is embeddable in your application. So you can take these technologies and deploy them in a very lightweight fashion. And they're highly customizable, so they can fit how you want to build your applications. You don't have to buy a big monolithic platform that's resource hungry that you may be familiar with from some of our proprietary competitors. A lot of flexibility with what we offer. As we move these technologies to the cloud, this lightweightness, this lightweight nature really helps out. So Enlightened really has two aspects to it, smarter and lightweight. So let's talk about innovating faster in a smarter way. This is a bit of a recap. So we talked about accelerate. Develop your applications fast. Deploy them across any environment. Okay? As I mentioned, develop more applications per year. And you can scale elastically, avoiding your data bottlenecks. Right? Integrate. This is connecting your systems, your applications, your data together across your enterprise or across your business unit, across whatever domain is relevant to you, using technologies like Fuse, data virtualization, messaging. And we bring this as a leader in deep integration, cloud integration, and increasingly Internet of Things integration. Our JBoss AMQ messaging product, which I'll talk about in a minute, is very suitable for use in Internet of Things kind of scenarios. We have a number of customers who are doing device-level integration, things like set-top boxes, where they're allowing you to program devices through your mobile device using MQTT protocols, not to get too far into the technology. Very lightweight messaging implementation, suitable for Internet of Things. And lastly, automate. And this is automating business decisions and automating business processes. So we have functionality in the BPM suite that is our business rules, which also supports complex event processing. So it allows you to do things like correlate events. So if the customer comes into the store and has purchased from us in the last 2 days, then do something. If they come into the store but they haven't visited us in a week, don't do something. You can correlate events together and then make decisions and take actions based on them. A BPM suite also, and our BRMS, Business Rules Management System, allow for better collaboration between IT and the business. So if you're familiar with business rules technology, what they allow you to do is take your business logic out of your application code. If your application is written in Java, you don't want all of your business logic written in Java in your application code. Because then details you might want to change, say sales promotions or regulatory decisions, they can only be changed with a full application refresh. Do you always want to do that? Do you want to have to change your application code, put it through a QE cycle, another dev rollout to production? It'd be nice if you could isolate that decision logic into business rules that could be changed by your marketing department, with the help of IT, of course, or by your business user, or by the regulatory, your compliance organization who says, some tax reporting rule has changed, and I need to change that calculation without doing an app refresh. Business rules allow you to externalize that logic, again, being more nimble and allowing you to automate your business. So this is the full JBoss middleware portfolio. So middleware is often, when you look at Red Hat, it's painted as just one of the things we do, right? But in the middleware portfolio, we have a lot of technology. There's, what's that, 10 products, and depending how you count some other things, maybe 12 products in our middleware portfolio. That's a whole company's worth of capability right there, right? And that's so we can remain competitive with the likes of Oracle, IBM, and others that are chief platforms for developing applications today. So working up from the bottom, we have our foundation or accelerate products, our enterprise application platform. This is our Java EE platform, industry-leading open source EE platform. We also have our JBoss web server, which is our Tomcat distribution for folks who simply need a Tomcat footprint to run their applications. And we have our JBoss data grid, right? And this is our scale-out in-memory data cache. Moving up, we have two areas of integrate. Data integration, I mentioned before, JBoss data virtualization. Create virtual views of your data across heterogeneous sources, expose that to clients over RESTful interfaces, JDBC, ODBC, however your data consuming applications want that data. It can deliver that data to those consumers. Application integration featuring JBoss Fuse, our open source ESB, based on Apache Software Foundation technology. JBoss AMQ, which is our enterprise messaging product. And this is also based on Apache technology, ActiveMQ. Both of these technologies, Fuse and AMQ, came to Red Hat about 2 years ago. We acquired a company called FuseSource. And FuseSource was very popular in the open source integration space. And we've brought that technology in and integrated it with our portfolio. We've made some key enhancements to it and essentially applied some of the Red Hat rigor that we bring to all open source to these products. They've been extremely popular for us since then. AMQ in particular, one of the first things we did is, for those familiar with, anyone here familiar with the AMQP messaging protocol? Okay. AMQP is an open messaging protocol, open wire protocol. It's the only open standard protocol there is. And we've been big proponents of this in various consortiums, et cetera, to drive that standard forward. And one of the first things we did is bring that open protocol to AMQ, the AMQ product. So now we have a messaging product that supports JMS, it supports STOMP and MQTT and AMQP. So it's a multi-protocol, multi-language messaging product. Very powerful, extremely lightweight, very capable. Moving up the stack, or actually down the graphic here, we have JBoss Fuse ServiceWorks. It takes all the technology in Fuse, the transformation, mediation, integration technology, and adds the ability to develop business services, provides governance functionality, provides integration, tight integration with our rules and BPM technologies. So it's really our SOA suite, or our big integration suite. Moving up the stack further, we have our business process management, or automation tier. And that is our BRMS, Business Rules Management System, based on a community project called Drools, if you've heard of that, and Red Hat JBoss BPM suite, which includes everything in BRMS and more, and brings our BPM technology, including sophisticated web tooling for business users as well as developers. And lastly but not least, we have JBoss Portal for people who are still looking to deploy portal-style technologies for delivering user interactions to their users. It's really a full complement of technologies flanked on the far left by our development tools. So this is our integrated Eclipse-based tooling across all these platforms, one Eclipse footprint so your application developers can build apps, and a set of management technologies on the right-hand side that also allows you to manage all of this middleware technology, whether you've deployed one product or several of them together. So it really is a full complement of middleware capabilities. And wrapping up here, we're in the process of taking all of this great middleware, all these capabilities, and bringing that to OpenShift, our platform as a service. So if you want to hear more about this, in two or three more sessions, I'll be speaking again on XPaths, the JBoss way. We'll get into some more of the detail of what's going to happen on this front. But suffice to say, middleware combined with OpenShift Enterprise is a very, very powerful combination. I think it's going to be game-changing in terms of the enterprise capabilities we can bring to PaaS. So with that, I will wrap up and take some questions. And I will say, if there are no questions, I'm not going to leave the stage until somebody asks me a question. So somebody has to ask.
Can you connect the
okay.
MQTT endpoint to the EMQP endpoint?
Yes, you can.
On state?
Yes. And that's actually one of the scenarios we're exploring for the Internet of Things. If you think of Internet of Things as a kind of a 3-tier architecture of its own, you have the device, so the device tier way out, it could be a thermostat, it could be a handheld. Then you have an aggregation tier where you're taking the input from those devices into an aggregation. And then you have a back office tier where you're doing whatever your business processing is. So you likely use MQTT on the endpoints because it's all the MQTT libraries tend to be native code because they're compiled for the platform they run on. Very lightweight, low power protocol. It's very compact. So it's suitable for running on battery powered devices or other lightweight devices. They can send messages up to the aggregation tier, which can take that, process that, transform to AMQP or OpenWire or whatever, Stomp if you really want to, and communicate to your back end for whatever your business is doing with all that sensor data, making business decisions based on a collection of sensor data to change temperatures, to allocate more resources, what have you. So it's a good question. I guess that lets you all off the hook for asking questions. But if there are any more questions, I'll take them. All right, I'll ask you one and then I'll let you go. How many of you here knew we had all of this technology in the middleware portfolio? Okay, there's a lot to offer here. Full complement. Come check it out. And if you have any questions, stop me. I'll be around. Thanks very much.